Okay, boys and girls, it's time again for another fantastic pedal display of my skills and whatnot. I've got two pedals here, so I'll probably do one filming of one and then probably do the other, or maybe I'll just continue throughout the both. One of them, as you can see, they both got the same basic layout, and I can tell you one of them is a favourite of Stevie Ray Vaughan, so that might give you a clue about what that's going to be. And then the other one, which I suspect is this one, well, I know it's this one because I've opened it up, is a clone of a Love Pedal Purple Plexi clone. So that's a Marshall in a box basically. So we'll see how we're going to go on with those. I'll take my time, nice and steady, and show you how we go on. The lovely Lee from Poodle Pedal has sent me, because of my sausage fingers, he sent me some solid wire rather than the flexible stuff. I do tend to break it dead easy when it's a flexible stuff at the junctions, so he's recommended that I use this. I've already used a tiny little bit, and I have to say, for sausage fingers like me, it's absolutely fantastic. So there we go, so we've got a lovely load of this stuff that we'll use. Also, while we're on about it, just move this out of the way, I've purchased from Lee at poodlepedalparts.co.uk a test pedal. Whoa, now look at this. Now this is going to be really useful. Basically what it is, it's a pedal that you can just wire up your the circuits that you've actually made onto the boards without actually wiring up the switches and the jacks. So it's a lot easier. So if you've got any problems with the board, it identifies that it's the board rather than the switch that it tends to be. Or if you're like me, you wire up your jacks wrong. All I can say is thanks, Lee. He knows what I'm on about. Anyway, this pedal here, you can either run it off a battery inside, or run it off, there's there we go, a 9-volt socket. So there you go. So it's simple. Connect up the out from the board to that one, the in from the board to that one, grounds will go to that one, and then the 9-volt connection from the board goes to that one. It's got a simple switch on there, so it even does positive ground and negative. There's a switch for on and off, obviously, foot switch to kick in. Apparently the LED here is obviously when it's off, it's off. Obviously when it's on, it's on, and it does change colours to indicate when it's in true bypass or not. So that'd be useful. So I may even try that prior to wiring everything up, and just to show you how it goes on. But yes, another cracking idea from Lee at Pedal Parts. There you go. I've got power on the brain today. Okay then, so we'll crack on and see where we go. Okay, so I've soldered in all the components, well, all the bits and pieces. If you notice, there's a jumper wire. Apparently it's a slight mishap on the board, so it's just a simple matter of putting a piece of wire across there and soldering it in. It's not actually, it doesn't affect the board at all, or any of the workings of it. So there you go. So that's the little bits and pieces all fitted in there. There we go. A bit closer for you, just for anybody who's thinking about doing it. And then we're going to use the again, like I say, the test board. So we'll be connecting some wires in to the ground there, the 9-volt, and then the in there, and then the out there, and then we'll see how we go. What I will do is I will wire up the pots as well, so we can at least test them that way rather than just out and out whatever we get out of it. So we'll see how we go on from there. So now I'm going to wire in the pots and see how we go on. Just before I wire up the pots, just want to talk to you a little bit about placement of the board in this. So obviously we've got the foot switch going in there, the LED is going to go in there, and then the obviously the pot's the tone and the volume, and the distortion or whatever, it's the gain that's coming in there. So really we've got this little board to place in there. Now bear in mind, if you want a battery to go in, you've got to think about battery and all the rest of it. It's a lot easier on this board, to tell you the truth, and in this pedal case. So it's just like, my ideal now is going to be, I'm going to put the pots in there, and I'm literally just going to sit the board on top of the pots, with just some double-sided sticky pads that you can get from Wilco's for £1. So it keeps it nice and neat, and it's all out of the way. It's up the top end. Get the wires coming off here to the switch. The switch is out of the way, and there'll be enough room round here for the battery, or in between, or whatever. And obviously we've got the jacks going in between there, so the battery might not fit there, but there's certainly room down here for it. So there you go. So just think about placement for your parts and everything, and we'll see how we're going. Okay then. I just want to say a little bit about tone pots, you know, before we start messing about with them and putting them in. One thing you'll notice on them is there's a little tag there. You obviously need to break that off, and it'll sit flush then. And also the tags, the connection tags on the back are just straight, and if you try and connect your wires to them, you can loop them over and everything. It's a bit of a pain. What I tend to do is loop them over, just double back on the cells, and you can make a nice little loop and put your wires through, and it's easy to solder. And as if by magic, Blue Peter style, there you can see what I mean. Okay, see the little loops just bent back on itself, feed the wire through those, and Bob's your uncle, funny's your aunt. Okay, so we talked about placement, and this is what I mean by that. Okay, so it's all nice and tight up there, obviously leaves room for everything else. And the beauty of this the stiffer wire, of course, is that it comes out like that, which for somebody who's got sausage fingers is absolutely fantastic. So I would recommend that you use the stiffer wire, because you can bend it round to suit, and you're not too worried about it snapping, which I am. So there you go. So now we're going to try it with a test rig. Okay, fantastic. Okay, I've just spotted something. Now this is me being really honest here. I don't know if you can spot that, but I've actually put it in the wrong hole there. It all needs to, that middle one, this pot here, needs to move across one, because I've actually put it in there. So that's me being honest. I could have conned you, but there you go. That's how careful you've got to be. Not only sausage fingers, but shite eyes. Okay, so this is the board made up now, and I've connected it to the test box, the boffin box. So there you go. So obviously that's the ground going straight across there into the board, and then the 9 volts connected to the input there, and then obviously the out is to the out, and the in to the in. So basically it bypasses everything, uses the foot as a foot switch, that one there, and then obviously the jacks and everything. So it's quite clever. So I'll go give it a go. We'll indicate if the board's working correctly. It's all wired up and everything, and if it's working, obviously I'll bob it in the case and crack on with it. Okay, so I've just completed the Love Pedal clone, the Plexi in a box. Just giving you a quick look at it now. Now it's completed. I've tied everything up. You can see there this solid wire is a godsend. It really is a lot easier to work. It keeps everything a lot tidier. So if you can get hold of some, I would definitely use it. Obviously there is the battery connector. I've connected that, although I will be using it by mains power, but it's always useful to have there just in case. And there's obviously a space there for the battery to go in. But I think you'll agree it's quite a neat job compared to the other one. Keep everything nice and tidy out of the way. So that's the Love Pedal from Poodle Parts. Highly recommended. It's the Marshall in a box. There you go. Enjoy.